Welcome to the big show. Keep current. Go all the way.
Double talk. Inflated, involved, and often deliberately ambiguous language.
Shaboom boom, everybody.
Yeah.
It's
Shaboom
Double
boom.
Talk Radio.
OUBLIETTE.
Yeah, don't Google it.
I'm not Googling. I'm putting it. I'm notepad so I can see how it's spelled.
This is too weird, even for him.
Double talk. Language that appears to be earnest and meaningful, but in fact is a mixture of sense and nonsense.
You're starting to scare me.
I scare a lot of people.
It's time for some Double Talk Radio.
Well, gather around and settle down. It's the best time of the year. Doesn't matter if it's cold outside, 'cause the holiday is here. Come on over, have a seat. The streets are filled with snow, where there ain't no gifts and there ain't no presents. Gonna stare at the aluminum pole, 'cause it's a Festivus for the rest of us. Nobody's filled with cheer. Yeah, Festivus for the rest of us. No good to volunteer. I got a lot of problems with you people, and tonight you're gonna hear them. Then I'll pin you down and feed your strength, 'cause the day ain't over till then. Festivus for the rest of us. Nobody's filled with cheer. Yeah, Festivus for the rest of us. No good to volunteer. Well, it's Festivus for the rest of us. The streets are filled with snow. Yeah, Festivus for the rest of us. So gather around the pole.
Okay, so we are talking like double talk crazy stuff right now, and DJ Chris is trying to tell us about a poll that is some kind of a Christmas festivity, which I didn't know about. I knew about the three wise men, I knew about the shepherd, I knew about the kid that played the drums.
But this one comes from Seinfeld.
Yeah, Seinfeld, exactly.
So everybody, except apparently for you and Violet,
yeah,
DJ,
Pittsburgh
know
and
about
Canada.
Festivus.
We're very common, right? Pittsburgh and Canada. Okay.
So Festivus is a holiday that was created by Dan O'Keefe, who was a writer on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It was in the episode The Strike, where this was all featured, and it's played every year on December 23rd on TBS, because that's when Festivus is.
What?
Nothing. It's a card from my dad.
What is it? Wait. Dear son, happy Festivus? What is Festivus?
It's nothing. It's nothing.
When George was growing up, his father hated all the commercial and religious aspects of Christmas, so he made up his own holiday.
Oh, and another piece of the puzzle falls into place.
All right. And instead of a tree, didn't your father put up an aluminum pole?
Yeah.
Stop it. And then weren't there feats of strength that always ended up with you crying? I can't do it anymore. I'm going to work. You happy now?
It involves a metal pole that's undecorated that you hang up in your house.
Okay. Just like hang it from the roof or like put it anywhere? because I'm going to start doing this because a metal pole is much cheaper than a Christmas tree.
Especially aluminum. Aluminum's cheap.
And safer.
It's like is it like a CB radio antenna?
It's just like a pole. Like it doesn't have to be. It can be whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a certain size or length or girth or anything like that. It can be whatever you want.
Is it circumcised or uncircumcised? I'm having a hard time catching on to this. Anyway, so we got this aluminum pole.
I almost got this Gabrielle girl lined up.
Oh, you're getting us a guest?
Ooh.
Some Gabriella girl.
Anyway, so other than the aluminum pole, it includes like different activities that you do throughout the night. One is the airing of grievances, which during like dinner, when you're sitting down with everybody you're with, you one by one go through and air your grievances from the past year.
So you say like, you pissed me off because you did this, that, and the other thing.
Exactly. Or you can talk about work or whatever you want. In the show, in Seinfeld, the real way to do it is to air your grievances about each other.
Welcome, newcomers. The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it. You, Kroger, my son tells me your company stinks.
Oh, God.
Quiet, you'll get yours in a minute. Kroger, you couldn't smooth a silk sheet if you had a hot date with a babe. I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
But the way I celebrate it, it's not about each other. It's about everything else in your life, like work or school, etc.
Okay.
And then
you force your family to do this, right?
What?
You force your family to go through this.
I don't force them. This is just something we've done for years and years. We don't actually have a poll, and the only thing we don't though. We don't.
No, you said you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay, you said ours is aluminum.
so like I'm
When did I say that?
Oh my goodness, this would make for a good show. So
are you recording this?
Yeah, I am. Every single minute of it. I'm probably going to play this on Wednesday and not even talk live. You can't hear us?
I feel like I like this.
Well, okay, Isbia thinks you said you had a poll.
Well, I don't. So I'm sorry if I said that I did, but I do not have a poll.
You said you... Hang on, I'm just relaying from Isbia.
Listen, buddy.
You said you put the poll in your flipping living room.
I'm sorry, because I do not have one.
He doesn't have one.
I do not have a poll.
Okay.
We don't have one at our Festivus celebration.
We are live for a very special Festivus Rebooted. Violet?
Yes?
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I was losing my voice, but it's coming back.
Good.
So this is a little different, folks, than what we normally do. This is a show. Well, this is live, Violet and I right now. But Violet actually spent a lot of time, and she produced 4 clips for us tonight from a show that was recorded 2 years ago.
It was actually 3.
3 years ago. Sorry. God, how time flies. About Festivus, which Violet and I at the time knew nothing about. We were having a meeting about the show, and we started talking about this, and I hit the record button. And all these things are, the discussion that happened. And I still don't know a lot about it.
Right. Chris just started talking about how, I don't know how it came up. He just brought it up, and then we both just found it fascinating.
It's a very fascinating holiday. And even though Chris enlightened us and is going to enlighten you guys all in the first hour tonight, in the second hour, we have a guest coming on, Ellen Salkin, who wrote the Festivus book. And he will tell us live, that interview will be, he'll answer all our questions. So if you have questions in the chat, be sure and put them in there, and we'll make sure we get them to Ellen.
Yep.
We are, I also, Violet, thank you for letting us do this in your spot.
Sure.
Normally you would be listening to Digital Octane right now. But Violet said, hey, let's do, why don't we do this? It's the actual date of Festivus. And, man, is it cool for me to be on such a great lineup.
Absolutely.
If I only could have had Digital Octane on at 5, then Double Talk Radio, then Metal Thunder Radio, then 3 Up. But I feel like I'm in the all-star game right now. Thank you very much.
And of course it is Festivus, so that's why DJ Chris isn't here with us, because his family is celebrating Festivus right now.
Yes. And next week, hopefully, things will slow down a bit at that major retailer, and DJ can report back now that, Violet and I are reacquainting with it, and all of you are learning a little bit more about it too. So we'll get probably some more funny stories from DJ.
Right.
And Maddie's with his family tonight, so
yes,
it's Christmas time. What can we expect? Right? So.
Exactly.
But it's Festivus tonight.
But for those of you in the chat room, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
We do. We love you all very much. And those of you that were busy while we were live and listening to us on download, normally Violet is live Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you go by, listen to Digital Octane, and then come by and listen to Double Talk Radio on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on All Radio X.
Exactly.
Where X marks the aluminum pole. That was funny. I remember that one part where we were saying to me, I didn't say I had no.
Well, I was just going to say, when I was doing these clips, I do owe Chris an apology. He's right. He didn't say that he had one. He said it just involves one in your living room. He didn't say he had one in his living room, so he was right.
All right. Our apologies 3 years after the fact.
I'll apologize to him next week.
Yes, and as will I, because I was adamant. And Isbia was listening, and she thought that he said he had a pole, but we were retaining an unbelievable amount of information.
Yes.
Because for me, this is Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And for half of you, it's Christmas. For the other half of you, Violet, you're lighting candles.
Right. Well,
right?
Not really. It's over.
It was early this year, though, for Hanukkah. Yeah. Happy belated Hanukkah, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go into our next clip.
Okay.
And we are going to cut in and out, folks, and talk to you. And if you have any comments, we'll get them on air here. Tell your friends we got something fun going on here at allradiox.com. Live. Just hit the live button and you'll be right in here with us. Let's go back to our Festivus adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, like, do your mother and your father take this day off work?
What?
Does like your whole family take this day off work?
No.
Is this like Violet's kind of Filipino Jewish Hanukkah?
No, this is just a one-day thing.
Okay.
You should record it.
Oh, I've got it recorded. I'm done.
No. I mean, Chris should record it.
I know he should, but he'll never. His mother comes in and interrupts the show all the time.
Mommy!
So I'm going to go next year, and I'm going to get an aluminum pole, and I'm going to put it in my living room, and everyone in my family is going to vent about something that they want to get rid of from the last year, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's all good. I like it. I really like it.
That's pretty cool.
There's more.
Oh. Shit. Okay.
This next aspect of Festivus is something that we don't do we substitute it with something else, but I'll get to that after I explain the feats of strength.
And now, as Festivus rolls on, we come to the feats of strength.
Not the feats of strength.
This year, the honor goes to Mr. Kramer.
Oh, gee, Frank, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I have to work a double shift at H&H.
I thought you were on strike.
Yeah, well, I caved. I mean, I really had to use their bathroom. And Frank, no offense, but this holiday's a little out there.
Hey, Kramer, you can't go. Who's gonna do the feats of strength?
How about George?
Good thinking, Cougar. Until you pin me, George, Festivus is not over.
Oh, please, someone stop this.
Let's rumble!
The feats of strength is the final part of Festivus. The head of the household selects one person at the Festivus celebration and challenges that person to a wrestling match.
Oh, I like it. I like that. Okay.
The person can decline if they have something else to do, such as pull a double shift at work. But tradition states that Festivus is not over until the head of the household is pinned in a wrestling match.
Does this include Nana?
So you seriously do this in your house every single year?
What?
Do you seriously do this in your house?
It's
with
either
the
at my
aluminum
house or
bar
my
in
neighbor's
your
house
living room
every other year. But we don't do the feats of strength.
Have you ever pinned your dad?
No. Because I just said we don't do that.
Okay.
What we do instead is we have a book. This book has recipes for all kinds of different drinks in it, like alcoholic drinks.
Okay. No, that's
And
good.
so we have this book and this card, and it's like a big book. And each person takes the card, puts it in the book, opens it up, and picks a drink on that page that they have to have on our neighbor's birthday, which is this Saturday.
Okay.
So each person does that, and then we write it down, and then they have to do it when we go out to eat. And these like crazy drinks, like the
give us an example, because if you don't think I'm going to upload this to TalkShoe and iTunes, you're nuts.
Oh, I hope you do. This is great.
You should.
But
so anyway, give me an example of a drink that you have made.
Gypsy cocktail.
Okay, because I got one in mind, and I hope Violet does too. We're each going to name a drink. Go ahead.
Me?
No, Chris first.
Okay, all right.
Oh, what was mine this year? I guess something easy. I guess sangria. So it wasn't weird. It was boring this year. Last year, I got... Oh, shit. What was it? It was this disgusting thing with vermouth. I think vermouth and gin.
Ew. That's gross.
Okay, so mine is amaretto with fresh oregano and 7-Up.
What's it called?
What do you name it?
Oh, what do I name it?
Yeah.
Bermuda Triangle.
I think Little K is having
Yeah, he's flipping.
feats of strength.
Yeah, he's looking for the aluminum bar in the living room. Like, holy freaking moly! Isby is peeing her pants over here.
Okay,
she always thought that DJ Chris was like this. She said, like, he's right. You're psycho. He is this normal guy who just goes to that major electronics store and sells telephones every day, and you're the guy who's like the crazy one. But I have never put an aluminum bar in my living room.
Hey, either have I. Well,
Jake, just leave her
was
alone.
that again? But that has nothing to do with Festivus.
Okay, so Violet's drink. I want to hear Violet's drink.
No, you're getting confused. Why
How
can't
you said something about the pole, the aluminum pole?
Right, but there's an aluminum pole for Festivus. There was one in my living room once, but it wasn't for Festivus.
What was it for?
I would rather not get into that.
Oh my God, Isbia, pull your earplug in now. She's walking out of the room. Isbia, you have to hear this.
All right.
You have to hear
so
this.
What's your drink, Bobby?
Why was that aluminum pole
I told you
in your living room for other than
come on.
Festivus?
Listen, I'm classier than that. I'm not telling you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's scary.
And you call us weird.
It wasn't mine.
Well, whose was it?
I don't know. I don't know why it was there. It wasn't. I'm just being stupid. I don't know why it was there. It wasn't there for any reason. It was just like laying there on the floor. It wasn't hanging up.
You hang it up.
So, when it was laying there, did you guys have your feats of strength?
What was that?
Has anyone ever beat Daddy DJ at a wrestling match?
I don't know. We don't actually do that.
If you were to do it, would like Nana be included?
Oh.
Well, I mean,
Did you imagine Nana versus DJ
Chris? She
Chris?
decided to choose somebody for the feats of strength, then yes, she would be included.
Yeah. Could you imagine Nana versus DJ Chris in a wrestling match?
She would win. I would let her win.
Anyway, what's Violet's drink?
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good. It's the beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good. Let's go drink some beer.
My drink would be a vodka martini, extra dirty.
Oh.
And what would you call it?
It's a vodka martini, extra
That's
dirty.
not original at all.
Yeah, what a lame drink.
Okay.
That's like me.
That's
like me sitting at. Wait a minute.
The drink out of the book.
Wait a minute. That's like me hanging under the aluminum bar, waiting for my feet of strength and saying to Isbia, I want a shot of whiskey. Like, how original is that drink?
It's not at all. Do you have the book? Any chance, Mom?
Mom! Mommy!
Oh my God, his mom's with him again.
Where
You
is
really
it?
scared
Go get
me,
it.
man.
We gotta do
We gotta
this.
get
I'm gonna
Mom
pick
on air.
for you.
We really
I'm
gotta
use
get
my
Mom on
brand new
air.
insurance card that I just got in this book to pick the drinks. Or you can pick a page number.
I hear Mom in the
Okay, I'll
background.
pick a page number. I'll pick page number 32.
Hey guys,
32?
do you ever think like Mom is like the voice on Charlie's Angels?
Mom! Mommy! Mama!
Okay, what's on 32?
She's going to get the book right now. So I'll have that information in a moment, and I'll read all the drinks off to you.
Oh, God.
One sounds interesting. I can read what's in it to you.
I hope it's better than a vodka martini.
Hopefully you don't get the page with, like, strawberry daiquiris and stuff on it.
Ooh. There's nothing wrong with a vodka martini extra dirty.
No, but it's not fun. Well,
Yes, it is.
yeah,
Guys,
it is, but
I think for this year,
After like
for this year,
3.
we got to send Violet Illusions back to that bar.
And they are slowly getting loaded. This is called Violet's Neighborhood. Let's go live to the bar with Violet Illusions. Violet, you got someone else?
Yeah, I do. I have a guy named Wookie and a friend of his named Han. I don't know how we're going to do this, but I'm going to give you the Wookie first, okay?
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Hey, Double K, this is Wookie. How you doing?
Not bad. Let's do it together, right? Okay. You a Star Wars fan?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can hear
I'm
it.
so, like, wasted.
I know. I believe that.
And now, whose idea was this, to send her on a roaming reporter, report piece in a bar, and to imbibe while doing it?
Well, Bruce, it was my idea.
Well, that's a fantastic idea. Well, hey, if you're having fun and it doesn't bother Double K, I would throw your ass right off the show and say, Scott, move over. You're number 2 now, Buster.
Oh, my God.
Sure. No,
I only live like a block and a half, and it's like forever getting home.
And we're back live. You're listening to Festivus Rebooted at a very special Double Talk Radio Monday, December 23rd on the X, All Radio X. Mm-hmm. Violet, when I heard that segment, when you sent that over to me, that Violet's Neighborhood, that was a blast.
Yeah, I know, it was.
How long did it take you to recover from that?
Well, I think I had to work the next day. I can't remember. Did I work? Oh, no, I called in sick the next day.
Yeah, needless to say, folks, we had an idea, and, we said, let's send Violet remote for a show. And Violet went to a bar in Pittsburgh, and there was a football game that night. And she kept getting people to come on air with us. And we kept getting Violet to buy them shots for being on air with us. We didn't know Violet was matching them 1 for 1.
And don't forget, before that, I had several beers because I was so nervous.
That's right. You had to get your courage up.
Exactly.
So that was really the ultimate feat of strength as far as a radio host goes.
Yes. Now, Dick in the chat room, he was asking, was that recorded in the 40s? And what he has to understand is when that was in our very first season of Double Talk Radio. And when we started Double Talk Radio, we started on a site called TalkShoe.
Yeah, we had some rough audio then and some really cheap equipment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think my first headphone cost $10.
I think mine did too. But however, their quality of audio is not as good as what you hear right now because I'm not sure what they're using, but it's certainly not what we're using.
It's a very low. I don't want to get into it, but it's a very low bit rate.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this is beyond FM radio quality we're on now. It's more like CD quality plus.
Exactly, and that's more like AM quality.
Maybe not even.
Yeah, maybe
Might
not
be
even.
like walkie-talkies 400 miles away.
Right.
But we had fun, and it was a good time. We'll post that episode when we link up this show.
Yes,
but,
and in my defense and my choice of drink at the time, I mean, I could have picked that drink. I may have picked that page with a dirty martini on it.
Yeah, but at the first time, we were just making up drinks at first. We were waiting for the book to arrive.
Right. Well, that's why I'm not a bartender.
Yes. And I mean, I was thinking off the cuff. I mean, I really wouldn't drink whatever I said, amaretto with oregano and, just pour me Jack. I'm a beer drinker anyway, but anyhow, no, we have not been on the air since 1942. We're not quite that old.
Yeah, and next time Chris is back on the show, hopefully next week, we'll have to have him get that book. And
we got to get that book out again. And stay tuned, because some funny stuff happened with me with that damn book. You'll see. As usual, I fuck everything up. But it's funny because I'm listening to this again, and of course, Chris, the last couple of weeks with the big Thanksgiving night out, and all these times he's going to the bar, he's drinking with us on air. I swear he's inside that book with that mango juice, vodka, cranberry dip. I couldn't sit and drink all night. That shit. I'd have a headache the size of. I'd have the headache the size of Texas. So just because we're coming up on the guest in about half an hour, I want you to realize that along the way, Chris was explaining that Festivus was a holiday created because George Costanza's dad hated all the commercialism of the holidays. And there was the aluminum pole, which DJ didn't have. There was the airing of the grievances, which apparently they did do. And the feats of strength, which was the wrestling, was replaced by the drinks, which really is a feat of strength, Violet. If you get something you don't like the next segment will tell a little more, but I don't want to spoil it.
Right, let's not spoil it.
But it really was a feat of strength in hindsight. Mm-hmm. Now, before we go to the next segment, if you were to pick a grievance this year, using the world as your table for Festivus, what would your grievance be with either social media or people in general or the news or TV or whatever? What is your grievance?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, it would be, I would have to say my main grievance, I'm in Facebook a lot. I really don't use Twitter that much anymore. Actually, I don't use Twitter at all anymore. I really should. But anyway, my grievance, like for example with Facebook, is I realize they have to make money, but they've got all this advertising that shows sometimes, especially if I'm on my phone, it'll say apps for your phone and things like that. Things that'll hook me in, or I even see it when I go on my computer into Facebook. It just says suggested posts.
Yes, and that Google Analytics, we always talk about NSA. NSA's listening to our calls, and NSA's tapping Google and Facebook and Twitter and all these places. Anywhere you go on the web, any of these apps you accept on your phone are collecting data about you. Like, I watched a show the other day on Good Morning America, or one of these things in the morning, where they said, your phone with all these apps is like a GPS for everyone to see. Mm-hmm. And Facebook's the same way. They're taking data, they're reading what you're putting in there, and Violet is into Second Life, or Violet is into music, so those posts are should be, if their thing is working, generated towards those interests, right?
Right, exactly.
They're extremely annoying for some reason, and I figured it out because of the way I do research for this show, the weird news, the calls I make, the sexually explicit material that we speak about sometimes. I personally get, like, do you want a wife in Russia? They obviously don't know I'm married with a fucking kid. I just need a vacation. I don't necessarily need the wife in Russia. I could be coerced, into going to Nevada or Brazil or somewhere where it's legal. Anyway, I'm not trying to be bad. It's the holiday season. But my grievance... my major grievance is, and not everyone is in cold weather, but any sort of weather shift. And I know the bad weather is hitting pretty far south in the United States these days. For goodness sakes, people, for fuck's sakes, I should say, a little glimmer of snow does not mean you need to slow down to 2 miles an hour, nor does it mean you need to speed around like a demon. Just freaking drive normal. The way people get around the weather, and this time of year, I swear people are half asleep. They're not paying attention to lights or pedestrians, or just freaking wake up or take a fucking cab.
Exactly.
This is my major grievance.
That's your major grievance?
That's my major grievance.
Yeah.
If you have any grievances throughout the show, feel free to put them in chat.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to what Violet has from the show. That, again, I just want to remind you, you're listening to Double Talk Radio. It is a special night and time. here on Monday, December 23rd. We are live. However, we are playing some recorded material from 3 years ago when Violet and I learned about Festivus. And this was not an aired show. It was never done live. Double Talk Radio has always been done live.
Right.
But this was not.
No, it was actually a show meeting about what we were going to discuss the following Wednesday, it was a show meeting to discuss what we were going to do for the new year.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow we got onto this. But I mean, hey, Festivus is more exciting than any Christmas day around my place. All right, kids, we're going to jump back into this, and we'll be back again very shortly. And we also have Alan Salkin coming up. He is the author of the Festivus book. He's going to be live with us tonight, and we're going to learn about the real Festivus, because this is like a backwoods DJ Chris Festivus that we're all soaking in right now. We'll be back after this little segment.
So you said 32.
32.
Okay.
You have the book yet?
Ooh,
She's got a book page.
Hi, DJ's mom.
New drinks.
Page of all.
Hi, DJ's mom.
The best page of all.
Awesome.
She's like Mrs. Claus. I love her.
So
I know.
There's Alabama Slammer.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Blue Margarita.
Oh.
Cape Codder.
Let's hear Cape Codder.
Navel.
Cape Codder.
Mm-hmm.
Cape Codder.
Bahama Mama.
Oh.
Bahama Mama. Bellini. And that's
Bellini. What's a Bellini?
It's 3 ounces of Italian white peach juice or peach nectar.
Nice, yeah.
A dash of lemon juice.
Okay.
Ooh.
3 ounces of chilled sparkling wine.
Ooh.
And 1 dash of black currant juice or grenadine.
Ooh, that's going to be my drink. Bellini.
Wait
We're
a
going to have to
minute.
drink all of it. I'll drink all of it if I have to.
No, you only have to drink the Bellini, not the whole page.
DJ, I have a question. So when you pick the drink, you have to drink that, right?
You have to drink it, yes. Whatever you get, whatever page you get, you have to drink what's on that page.
Okay.
So
imagine if you go ahead.
If you don't like it, you don't have to drink it all.
Why?
Because you can give it to somebody else. Transferring it after you've tasted it is fine, but you have to at least taste it.
Is that part of inserting the strength?
No, this is what we do instead of the feats of strength. We do the drinks.
So basically, your family sits around and gets bombed.
Pretty much, yeah. Yep, that's our Festivus.
Oh,
So do you follow this? So Violet, in terms of like, see, so Violet and I are a little bit older than you, and we understand that. So Violet, basically, it's a bush party.
Yes, exactly.
It's basically where we go to our dad's alcohol cabinet, and we pour a little bit of everything into a wine sack, and we go out to the bush, and we light a fire, and we all sing around and do kumbaya or whatever the heck we do, and we get pissed.
Whoa, somebody singing love kumbaya. Oh, somebody singing like kumbaya. I'm singing rain, wind, fire,
Right.
sword, kumbaya, ole, kumbaya.
Okay,
although if you do the
So
drinking
why do we
quiz-
have to call it Festivus?
Because it's a variation of Festivus.
Okay, so
Festivus for the rest of us.
Violet, it's drinking like crazy wine juice.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like me and you hooking up. We're gonna bribe some guy to go into the liquor store for us, right?
Right.
He's going to get cherry whiskey, he's going to get lemon gin, and he's going to get vodka, and we're going to mix it all together, and we're going to get pissed, and we're going to end up having sex.
Yeah, we can't celebrate Festivus on any other day of the year other than December 23rd.
I follow it now. Like, you know what I call it? I call it 1978.
Okay. So now, DK, you pick your page.
I'm going to pick... who's my favorite player this year? Number 9.
Page 9. Yeah, you're picking low numbers. This book goes on.
His mom is still...
Oh, no, page 9. Don't pick page 9. That's the introduction.
Okay.
There's no drinks on that page.
No drinks for you, DK.
Okay. DJ's mom, I go to church every Sunday, I swear. Page 25.
25?
Mm-hmm. And if you tell me it's a...
That's the page for measuring, on how to measure.
Okay.
Drinks start at
49 then. 40. The DJ,
49,
tell us what page to start at.
Okay, page 49. Banana cow, banana daiquiri, banana punch, banshee,
I hate bananas.
Barbary Coast, Barnaby's Buffalo Blizzard.
Barnaby's Buffalo Blizzard. I'll drink it right now.
Okay, Barnaby's Buffalo Blizzard is 1 ounce of cream de cocoa, 3/4 of an ounce of vodka, 1 ounce Galliano, vanilla ice cream, a dash of grenadine, whipped cream, and 3/4 of a cup of milk.
Okay, I'm going to pass that to Violet Illusions, and I'm going to pick page 55.
There's more on this page.
No, I'm going to pass it. I'm going to pick page 55. Can I do that for my feat of strength?
Yeah, you can pass it and pick a different page. Okay.
Page 55. Violet Illusion gets the vanilla ice cream and whatever that cum shot was.
You better put this on air on this episode this week. Okay, so 55. We have the Bluebird, Blue Blazer, Blue Devil Cocktail.
I'll take the
Hawaiian,
Blue Devil Cocktail. I'll take
Blue
the
Margarita,
Blue Devil
Cocktail. Blue Moon Cocktail.
I'm taking the Blue Devil Cocktail.
Ounce of gin, juice of apple, lime, or lemon, a tablespoon of maraschino, and half a teaspoon of blue Curaçao.
Okay, I'm going to down that. I'll down that.
You'll have it?
Yeah, I'll
you
take
can pick any other one.
What was that one again? Blue Demon?
Blue Devil Cocktail.
And what was the one I passed over to Illusions there? The cum shot.
Yeah, Barnaby's Buffalo Blizzard.
Barnaby's Buffalo Blizzard. And we're sitting here and we're playing this game with an aluminum pole in our living room with Chris's mom.
Mom! Mommy!
In the room. This is just great. I'm so proud of myself right now.
But you know what? If you're replacing the feats of strength for this drinking game, wouldn't passing the drink along if you don't like it show that you don't have any strength?
Yeah, show you're weak. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
No. We don't really advertise that that's allowed to do. But if you want to do it, that's fine.
Because, then again, you would not accept a wrestling match with Nana either, but...
No, I would not accept a wrestling match with Nana.
He would accept it, but he'd let her win.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm just trying to get a hold of this. So there's an aluminum pole with nothing on it. Right?
Nana doesn't even go to Festivus.
there's no red and there's no green on this aluminum pole.
No, because it's a tradition with us and our neighbors. It's not our family.
Okay, so
did
you ever think that you have weird frickin' neighbors? Like, you guys always make fun of me because I'm Canadian.
Don't wanna be a Canadian idiot. Don't wanna be some beer swill and hockey nut. And do I look like some frostbitten hose head? I never learned my alphabet from A to Z.
But, like, get a hold of yourself. You've got an aluminum pole in the middle of your living room and you're throwing a party. Like, I don't even think Violet would go for this. She's lived in San Diego. She's lived in Hawaii. She's been around the world, and I don't think anyone, even if you go up that stupid frickin' ARP in St. Louis.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about this Festivus idea.
This is the best thing ever. Festivus.
I like the drinking part.
I like the drinking part, too.
Except in my Festivus, there would be no passing of the drink.
Well, it's not something...
Yeah, you should have to drink the drink,
We say, no, you can't do that. But then if they insist, or if it's something they really don't want, then okay.
Well, then that just shows they have no strength.
But they technically have to pick something that's on the same page.
Okay, so Isby is in the background here, and she's saying, so what happens if you don't like it?
Oh, I'm going to have my neighbor on as a guest on the show sometime.
Yeah, like next week.
Do Festivus with.
Because I'm going to play this next week.
I want to do this. I'm going to have her on. I'm going to ask her.
Festivus.
Let me send her a message on Facebook and see if we can get the ball rolling on this.
Because, okay, let me put it to you this way. So, DJ, you're sitting... Is Mummy DJ still in the room? Because I don't want to ask these questions.
She can hear. Yeah, she's.
Oh no, then I apologize, Mummy DJ. I won't even ask what I was going to say.
Whisper it.
I was going to say, DJ, have you ever been playing Festivus with your neighbor and something funky happened? Like she got a like she picked blue clitoris on page 43.
No, that has never happened.
Okay.
Nothing like that happens.
I know, I'm just asking because my
happens,
wife,
and that is all I am going to say.
All I'm going to say is because my wife actually. Well, no, my wife actually saw a picture of DJ Chris, and she goes, "Wow."
Who did?
Like Justin Bieber, take a back seat. You got DJ Chris in the house. I am never going to miss another episode with DJ Chris talking on here. That guy is hot.
Who said that?
My wife.
Really?
I told you, Chris.
She's like Justin Bieber, like mellow out. We got DJ Chris, and we are cool.
Drink you, snort you, breathe you. I just wanna take it off. I inject you in my veins and turn me on. Call the cops so they drug test me, but they won't find any alcohol or crack cocaine. You're the reason I'm insane.
But she said, she's like, that's DJ Chris. Is there any pictures with his shirt off? No, you didn't.
He used to have a video.
She didn't say that. I should apologize. But anyway.
He used to have a video on YouTube, and it was just him in jeans.
You'd melt the women, DJ. Like,
seriously, I'm telling you.
With my voice.
I told him that.
With my voice and your body. And Mama DJ, I apologize. All this is going on. We're just like playing around. This is all internet crap.
She can't hear you.
It's okay. I have the aluminum pole down on my floor. I'm ready. I've got like 3 bottles of gin, 4 bottles of whiskey.
The pole hangs up.
You told us you didn't hang the pole.
Because what's the point of hanging on the ground?
Whiskey in the jar. That'll be the song.
Don't you put ribbons on it and dance around it?
No, you don't decorate it.
Why would you dance around it? Once you've had a few drinks, Violet, I think it would be a free-for-all.
You can dance around it and howl at the moon.
So we're in the middle of nowhere in New York in the Appalachian Mountains. And
No, he's not in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
I'm in Marlboro. Oh, I shouldn't have said that on air. Can you edit that out?
No, I can't. They're going to come and find you. And they're going to put a an aluminum pole on your
It
porch.
sounds very wicked.
Marlboro?
It's so weird,
No,
though. Like
Festivus.
Yeah.
But almost like it almost sounds very. It is wicked.
It's fun.
It's just stupid, though.
No, not wicked.
Wicked.
Oh,
Wicked.
no, it's not. It's not at all. It's just something that George Costanza's father made up.
You know, it almost sounds like you should be wearing togas.
Toga! Toga!
Yeah.
No, there's no togas.
Toga! 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 Toga!
It's not weird. It's just normal. Like
I know, but you know what? In my Festivus, there would be togas.
Yeah, there would be togas. And no
but
panties.
togas are in Festivus.
Absolutely no panties would be allowed in my Festivus. There you have it, folks. You're listening to Festivus Rebooted on the brand new Double Talk Radio. Violet and DK are here. We're still alive.
Yes, we are.
So, in your Festivus, you wouldn't be able to pass that damn drink.
No.
And I kind of this is what I wanted to get at, Violet. Is the last segment? I didn't want to give it away. Is that would be the feat of strength?
Exactly.
You know, if you gave up the drink, then you're done. You're cooked. You're a fucking wimp.
Exactly.
But then as we went on through this invention, and I like our Festivus better, but we'll tell when the guest comes on in a few.
Mm-hmm.
That we'd have togas,
Mm-hmm.
mandatory, no passing the drink, togas, and no panties. I think the no panty part would be really fun for the girls when they rub up against that cold aluminum pole, and we could have. I'm going to take this one step further. We could have pole dancing.
Mine would have ribbons, my pole.
Ribbons and pole dancing. I'm starting to get more creative now as I'm reliving this. Come on, kids. Let's invent our own Festivus. Send us your ideas. I did have a question of you, though, Violet, because 3 years ago you said, I really like this idea. I'm going to start doing it. Did you ever do it?
Nobody really, like old boyfriends I've been with really didn't get into it. They're more into Christmas. So, no, I really haven't gotten into it. But I do, I wish Chris a happy Festivus every year. And,
It's a great time. It really is.
It is a great time.
And here's the thing. Two things I just wanted to add. Upstairs in my house right now, I told you the kids are hyper. We've got some friends over. Actually, Redbeard is upstairs listening to the show. Hello, Redbeard. It sounds like Festivus in my house right now. Sounds like the kids are having feats of strength, waiting for Santa to come. But he is doing a thing with me. I think I mentioned this before. He's from Newfoundland, which is a province in Canada. And they have traditions and great Irish music, like you were playing Whiskey in the Jar by Metallica there.
Right.
For me to become an honorary Newfoundlander, even though I'm in the same country as them, I need to partake in the Screech, which is like a Jamaican rum, a very strong Jamaican rum.
Okay.
I need to kiss the codfish.
Like raw?
Yeah, apparently. And you got to remember, this is a province that is almost like an isle. It's right on the ocean, so fishing is a major, way of life there, with nets and the whole bit. And then there's a poem I have to say. And we were going to do this a while ago, but I'm afraid I won't recover for a week. So I'm waiting, maybe New Year's or at some point over the holidays, I will be screeched in and be an honorary Newfoundlander.
Now, when you kiss the cod, do you kiss it on the lips or can you kiss it anywhere, like on the tail or?
We'd have to ask Redbeard that, and I can find out for you. But just to let you know what these people do is, and I'm getting used to it, which is scary. But if he was going to say to you he's happy, which is with an H, right?
Mm-hmm.
He drops the H and it's I'm happy.
Oh,
happy.
okay.
Okay. Now, if it's a word like I'm going to have an apple.
On the lips.
Oh, he's yelling down. On
I
the
heard.
lips. You gotta kiss the cod on the lips.
That's not too bad.
Well, hey, if you want to join the secret society, that's what you do. So then, if it's an apple, he says a apple.
Oh.
So I'm getting used to it now, and I think sometimes I'm even talking like that, and people probably go, holy shit, DK's going drunk to work. Which may be the case on a Friday morning.
I could probably do that.
I'm going to do it, and maybe you can go buy a cod, and we can find you some screech, or send you a little mini one, and we can screech you in on the air. You probably be the first person from the deep south that has been screeched in and has become an honorary Newfoundlander, and he has certificates and everything.
Oh, wow. Do you get T-shirts?
We can work on that. Brody has connections. We can certainly work on that. We'll plan that another day, though.
T-shirts are always good.
Yes, I love T-shirts.
So that would be
I like togas better with no panties.
I'm sure you do.
Especially if Hannah Montana is there. Anyway, our guest is due to come up, so
yes.
I'm just going to play a quick little stinger for the station and for the show. You're listening to Double Talk Radio on a very special night. Violet, again, has sacrificed her time for Digital Octane, which is live every Monday night right here on the X, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The great night of program coming up, folks. There's not a better holiday lineup on television right now. You've got, Double Talk Radio. Then we're going into Metal Thunder Radio. Brian was with us last week. Had a great time with him. He's up next. And then after that, see, now I'm starting to talk like I'm a newfie. After that, we have the crazy maniacal 3-Up.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't describe them. They're just fun and funny. All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to bring Alan Salkin on the show, and when we get back, we're going to talk about the real Festivus. If it's even real at all, but we'll find out. Right, Violet?
Right, exactly.
You're on the X. AllRadioX.com.
Howdy ho, boys and girls. It's me, Double K, inviting you to come and join me and my crazy bunch of misfits at the water cooler every Wednesday night right here on All Radio X. Double Talk Radio, live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll hear you there.
Settle down, it's the best time of the year. Doesn't matter if it's cold outside, 'cause the holiday is here. Come on over, have a seat. The streets are filled with snow, where there ain't no gifts and there ain't no presents. Gonna stare at the aluminum pole. 'Cause it's a Festivus for the rest of us. Nobody's filled with cheer. Yeah, Festivus for the rest of us. No good to volunteer. I got a lot of problems with you people, and tonight you're gonna hear them. Then I'll pin you down and feats of strength, 'cause the day ain't over till then.
And we're back and we're live. I know we've been bouncing in between live and recorded tonight. We're having a great time, but we are really excited at this point in the show to bring in really a true Festivus expert, not like Violet and myself and DJ Chris's twisted, weird way of celebrating this. With us right now, folks, is the author of the Festivus book, Alan Salkin. Alan, welcome to the show.
Happy Festivus, if that's what you really want.
Yes, happy Festivus.
No one's got hurt yet, Alan.
What kind of Festivus is that?
I know, it's not right, is it?
You guys are, I mean, there's got to be some injuries, although it should be said that the feats of strength, which according to what I call the Seinfeld orthodoxy, which is the rituals of Seinfeld as inherited from rituals of Festivus as inherited from Seinfeld. You're supposed to wrestle, but in the real world, people rarely do wrestle unless they're drunk, because adults wrestling can get hurt or killed if accidentally impaled on things like bad flame lamps and things. So people will often do things like bob for apples or do the Festivus arm wrestling.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that, Alan, because the segment, DJ Chris, who is not with us tonight, he is celebrating Festivus with his family and friends, so we won't talk to him until next week. But they substituted the feats of strength with a bar book where you had to pick a page and you needed to drink the drink that was on that page.
Yes, there's a lot of drinking. A lot of drinking contests with Festivus, a lot of Festivus cocktails. There's even been some Festivus beers brewed, some of them starting in Wisconsin, which is a very strong Festivus state.
Wow.
Is it?
Well, the governor of Wisconsin has a Festivus pole in the Capitol building, which I don't know how big it is in Wisconsin. Actually, I do know because I've been there on my other book. And the makers of Festivus poles are located in Wisconsin.
Really?
So there's
an
makers
official
of Festivus poles.
Yeah, look at FestivusPoles.com. I sort of, those of us in the Festivus community all sort of know each other. And these guys started they actually make aluminum railings, and they got into the Festivus pole business just on a lark. They bought the domain name FestivusPoles.com, and every time for the last, 7-8 years around this time, I start getting emails from Tony Lito, who's the sales guy there, and we start, sort of trading Festivus news.
Interesting.
Well, Wisconsin's they're from Milwaukee. It's a very high strength to tensile strength to weight ratio in that city, I think.
It's a beer town. It's a drinking town.
Absolutely.
So what kind of research went into this book? Like, did you have to really dive into this, or were you familiar with it before you wrote the book? Or
no, it's funny. I'm a journalist, and I don't just. I mean, I do write fiction sometimes, but this was actually a work of journalism. People don't understand that. I mean, I did sort of goose the book up with a few recipes that I had people write and a few drawings, but mostly what I did was I researched the country every way I could. Everybody I knew, I asked. I looked for every mention of Festivus in every article everywhere, and I chronicled like a documentarian. I looked at myself as if I was doing a Mutual of Omaha, or an Animal Planet documentary, and then the gazelles feed on the savannah, and it was like, that's what I was doing with Festivus, and then they wrestle, and then they do this in this manner. It was like an anthropologist who was chronicling the way that this holiday, which started before Seinfeld, in case you haven't made that point yet, has actually manifested in the real world, and that's what the book is.
Now, was Seinfeld an orthodox, like you say? Was this really existing before Seinfeld?
Yeah. So now, there's your listeners might want to tune into CNN tomorrow morning, because the guy who actually wrote Festivus into the Seinfeld episode is going to be appearing on CNN. And he and I haven't really had much contact in the last 6 or 7 years, but Dan O'Keefe. So, a long story short, this episode was on the final season of Seinfeld, Larry David, who everybody thinks wrote every episode, had already left this show. He came back to write the final episode, and they had a lot of writers working. This guy, Dan O'Keefe, was a writer for Seinfeld, a sort of curly, red-haired young guy. His father, Daniel O'Keefe, was a sort of author and also an editor at Reader's Digest. He had written a book on, this is all real, I'm not making this up. He had written a book on ancient ritual, I believe called Stolen Thunder, but maybe Stolen Magic, something like that. And in that book, he talks about things like Festivus. And now, Festivus, if you research, actually, in my book, I have a little piece in there from a guy who studied the word at Notre Dame, a professor. And Festivus is a Latin word that means the way that the common people misbehave on official religious holidays. In other words, think about Mardi Gras, right? This is sort of around Lent and around, serious Catholic holidays. But what do the common people do? Well, they like to get women to show their breasts and throw beads at them. Right. They like to, and who doesn't?
It's my kind of holiday.
Yes. I mean, we all like breasts pretty much. And and drink and just have total mayhem. And this is that is Festivus-like behavior. So, and there's a whole history of the word. So anyway, this guy, Daniel O'Keefe, who lived basically in sort of northern New York City in a suburb, created this holiday for his family in order to kind of, whenever he decided the family needed to kind of blow off steam, which is really what Mardi Gras is, blowing off steam,
right?
He would declare that it's time for Festivus, and the family would sort of show up at the end of the day, and without even knowing it, there'd be this creepy old French music playing. There'd be a clock in a bag, and the family would start airing their grievances into a tape recorder, a cassette tape recorder, and the boys would wrestle. There was no Festivus poll. So this could happen any time of year, multiple times a year even. It's beginning to look a lot like Festivus, Daniel O'Keefe would say. So Dan O'Keefe, the son and the writer for Seinfeld, mentioned this around, or it might have been actually his brother, who's also a writer. The story's a little unclear. Mentioned this around the Seinfeld writers' room, and the writers decided we have to write this into an episode. And so, I actually have an early draft of the episode in which they talk about a traditional Festivus haircut. Someday I have to put this online if I can get the rights to it. But and they added the poll for Seinfeld, so that the poll is part of the Seinfeld orthodoxy. They also, for the sake of making it more of a holiday during the traditional period of holidays, they moved it to December 23rd, which is today. Right. So today is according to the Seinfeld Orthodox, the official day of Festivus, and we get the whole Rand Paul thing. And I don't know if you've gotten into that, but a lot of things always happen on December 23rd. So
not yet. I was saving Rand Paul for you, so we'll get to that in a minute.
Well, I mean, if the news is actually, there's an article in the Daily News in which I'm quoted, and I actually put up. If people go to my Facebook page, Facebook.com/Salkin, which is SALKIN, like Sam. They'll see a little video I made with sort of an official statement and other things on there about this. But, Rand Paul, known as the Tea Party senator from Kentucky,
right.
Basically decided today he was going to have an airing of grievances, which is one of the, classic tenets of Festivus. So throughout the day, he was airing his grievances, including one about, the Federal Reserve and other things he doesn't like, and the national debt, and including one about Cory Booker. He was complaining that Cory Booker does not retweet him enough.
Yes, that's the article I was reading that you posted.
And by the way, I would also complain that Cory Booker doesn't retweet me enough.
I don't even think Cory Booker knows me because I'm Canadian, but brother, please stop retweeting me too.
Yeah, I have met Cory Booker once, and he's a very nice guy. He's a new senator from New Jersey, of course. And so this became a little sort of a joking matter between Rand and Paul and Cory Booker, but it was interesting that that Rand used what is truly, one of the tenets of Festivus, people expressing what they really want and what they really feel on this day with no sort of ceremony, which is key to the original meaning of Festivus, the airing of grievances. So this, anyway, I'm quoting an article in the New York Daily News about this, and also this is why I think Dan O'Keefe, the writer of the Seinfeld episode, is going to be on CNN tomorrow. And I got a frantic email from the Festivus polls guy in Milwaukee asking if I was in New York and I could quickly bring over my Festivus poll to CNN headquarters because they need it for this appearance tomorrow morning.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I'm not in New York. I'm in Vermont right now skiing. So that's the story with Rand Paul.
So I just want to add to this because this was all news to me until what is your Twitter account, because I do follow you.
I'm at Alan I don't know if I'm breaking up a little, but I'm at Alan Salkin is my Twitter. ALLEN S like Sam ALKIN. And I also have a website for my Festivus book, which is just festivusbook.com.
Right.
Yes.
And so I'm looking at this match, and he's challenged this guy to wrestle him, and I'm thinking, that's not the feat of strength you want to pick, buddy. He'll kill you.
Oh, yeah, Cory Booker was, I believe, an athlete at Stanford.
He looks like a UFC champion from the picture I saw. He's in shape.
I would bet. Yeah, am I breaking up, or is it just you?
No, we hear you okay.
No, I hear you fine.
You're breaking up to me. Anyway, yes, Cory Booker I would take in a fight with, which, by the way, Rand Paul did tweet that he didn't want to actually wrestle. And this actually ended up with them both agreeing to work on sentencing reform for drugs, because Rand Paul, being pretty much an honest libertarian, actually is for decriminalizing a lot of drug use.
So now you say you're in Vermont skiing right now, so you're not celebrating Festivus this year? I'm not celebrating Festivus?
Yeah. Well, I consider these interviews that I do every year, it's like I'm like Rudolph, people only remember me this time of year. Although I do have another book out, by the way, which we're going to mention, which is called From Scratch Inside the Food Network. That's my latest work. I hope everybody buys it. It's a book I worked 3 years on, and it's all about all the secrets about the Food Network stars, and it's another serious work of journalism. But I consider all these interviews that I do me celebrating Festivus. I get to every year sort of put on this hat, air my own grievances, sort of become the irascible Festivus guy, and this is how I do it. I air my grievances.
I love it. I just want to say, folks, we're getting off topic a little bit, but Ellen, I've been in touch with, I believe it's your publicist, but you're going to come back on sometime in January, and we're going to dedicate a whole segment to your book on the Food Network.
You know what my problem is with you?
What's that?
A segment.
Well, we'll give you how much time you want.
How long is the show? 2 hours?
Yeah, a segment on my show can go 90 minutes. You don't understand how we do things.
All right, well, 90 minutes sounds good.
I'm crazier than Jimmy Fallon. We half our stuff ends up on the cutting room floor. I'm getting a grievance from Ellen Salkin. I can't believe it. I love it.
Actually, your Food Network book sounds really good.
It just got named today. That Entertainment Weekly came out and named it one of the best books of 2013. NPR put it on their best of the year list. It's getting great reviews, which is very nice. You know what? It's funny because my Festivus book, which came out whatever it was 7-8 years ago,
right?
And we did an updated paperback. I was getting less and less sales of that book every year. It's not. You can only buy. There's a few new copies out there, and this time of year the prices go up on Amazon for those, and you can buy it as an ebook. But I was getting less and less royalties, and it was coming to the point where if I got less than $500 in a year of royalties, I was going to get the rights back to the book, which is what I wanted. So I was actually telling people not to buy it.
Oh,
but last year, for some reason, we sold a ton of ebooks. And I actually got a check for like $2,300 in royalties for Festivus. So go ahead, and you guys can all go ahead and buy the ebook now. I'm happy with that. But the truth is that I worked my ass. The Festivus book was fun. It was it started as a New York Times article that I wrote back in 2004, I think, and. I was amazed, like everybody else, to find that people were actually celebrating Festivus in the real world. And I wrote a little article. I interviewed Jerry Stiller. I interviewed both of the O'Keefes who were responsible for the holiday. And funny, Dan O'Keefe, the younger, the writer, came out with a book simultaneously called The Real Festivus, which I think he was just trying to knock down my book because he didn't like that I might profit from his holiday. But and that contains sort of just boring and semi-interesting transcripts from the original cassette tapes of his family's original Festivus celebration. But anyway, my point is, I worked on that book. I love it, but I also really love this Food Network book, and I do think you will love it. And hopefully, we're sending you over a copy. My publicist is, and it's from scratch inside the Food Network.
It's my favorite network. Me and my buddy were bored by football yesterday, and we were watching what's his name, Guy thing yesterday, and then we're watching how they make candy canes, and then we watched the Iron Chef competition between Kakora and I can't think of his name now, the bald guy, and
Michael Simon,
and we had like 4 hours of Food Network going, and by the time dinner was finally, that's the problem with Food Network.
Yeah,
is
you get hungry.
You cannot watch that on an empty stomach.
Well, one of the things I make a point of saying is that you go to the gym and there's two things on, right? There's ESPN and there's the Food Network, because men want to watch war. Like, this goes back to the cave. There's something fascinating about war. So ESPN is sports, is war by other means. And one of the other oldest shows on earth is watching somebody stand by a fire and cook something. It goes back to the cave. And so there's something just very comforting about that everybody can kind of agree on. And the third thing that is the oldest show on earth is, of course, cannot be shown on commercial television, but you can only get from pay-per-view. And which, you know what I'm talking about, which is pornography. And
that's
me.
I've never watched it in my life.
If you watch it, eventually you're going to want some of it.
Not me, never. No. Mama. Inside joke. No, listen, here's my...
So what you're saying is you like mother porn.
MILFs are cool. Anyway, here's my challenge for you then. We will invite you on, if you want to come on, for an entire 2 hours, and we'll talk about Food Network and your book and all kinds of cool stories and stuff, but then you kind of got to dive into our world a little bit.
Which is what?
Well, you'll have to listen to some shows before you accept. We have a good time and we're harmless. We just like to have fun.
The scary part is, like, every interview I've done, even hour-long interviews, I feel like we're just starting to scratch the surface of what there is to discuss about Food Network. So I'm happy to do it. And,
all right. There we go, Violet.
I guess I need to look at your site. Who the hell you people are? You're not white supremacists or something. Or
No. I only air my grievances on Festivus.
All right.
And I haven't even done that tonight. I'm in such a good mood. But no, honestly, great channel. But tonight I want to talk about Festivus.
Festivus, yes.
And you're a genius when it comes to this, because I just want to fill you in a little bit. When Violet and I, why we did this, it was actually Violet's idea. It's 3 years ago, we were having a show meeting. And we were just talking about what we were going to do in the new year. And DJ, who is not here, he'll be here next time you attend, was telling us all about this Festivus. And I never heard of it. I hadn't seen the Seinfeld episode, nothing. And I was floored by it. And so we recorded this, and we've never aired it until tonight. Violet's produced segments of it. And I would like to think that there's probably a lot of people out there listening that really don't know that much about it. So it, again, was Violet's idea that we bring in an expert.
Well, I'm glad you're having me. It's funny. One of the jokes I say is that, Festivus, most people learned about Festivus from this show called Seinfeld, which was a sitcom that was on in the 1990s. And people who think I'm being overly obvious always would laugh. We know what Seinfeld is, right? But, the 1990s, even though some of us are getting old, 1990s was a long time ago. It was almost like when we were watching Brady Bunch or something as kids. This is almost another era. There were people who were can talk and almost, get married now who were born after Festivus, after Seinfeld was on. So you do have to explain what it is. And of all the rituals, the people, the catchphrases that people got from Seinfeld, Festivus seems to have serious legs.
Yeah.
Very popular show.
Yeah,
Very
in fact,
popular.
DJ, his family started to celebrate Festivus after the episode aired on Seinfeld, or his parents did. He was
Right. People, I talk about this in the book. Within hours of the first airing of that show, people were throwing their own Festivus parties. It immediately hit a chord. Now, why? Because it means nothing. Right? And what's exactly what we need this time of year is something that doesn't mean anything. Because, although according to the Seinfeld orthodoxy, Festivus is celebrated on the 23rd, most people don't celebrate it then. Because by the 23rd, most people have gone home to be with the people they don't want to be with, namely their families. Festivus is often celebrated earlier in the month as a friend holiday party or an office holiday party, because you can invite anybody and no one is excluded. Even though you say, oh, everyone comes to our Christmas party. Yeah, but certain people walk in and they see the Christmas tree and they just don't feel like it's for them. Or, a Kwanzaa party, or everything's excluding somebody in some way, except Festivus. Everyone can agree that it means nothing, and therefore everyone is welcome. Mm-hmm. And even the rituals of it, the airing of grievances, it's like talk radio all the time. But and the Festivus poll, it's like an inside joke to everybody, but everybody's inside. It's like, beautiful poll, when of course the poll is known to be deliberately ugly. But you're making fun of every time you got to walk in and say, "Oh, nice tree this year, Bob."
And not one present is under there for you if you're visiting someone. You're right; it's a personal thing. Right.
I went to a Christmas tree trimming party the other day, and there were no presents under the tree for me.
Yep. Me too.
Although, what I'm gathering from you is that if you can give a gift on Festivus. However, it's a gift that you wouldn't want, and it's a gift that the person you're giving it to wouldn't want also.
Yeah, that's one of the rules that I definitely chronicled about gifts. It has to be something probably that was regifted that you don't want. Right. A hat that's only would fit like a retarded pinhead. And I say the word retarded because I'm referring to people who are retarded.
Or it could even be, a chapstick. I think you
use chapstick.
Use chapstick from your pocket.
Right.
You've had in your pocket for 6 months.
Or like Goatman says, like a deuce. There's someone in the chat room, Goatman, and he says like a deuce, a number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly, a number 2. But which suit?
Which suit?
In other words, we're talking about the hearts, the diamonds, the spades.
I got you. I'm tired. I've been working a lot.
I think a 2 of spades would be something that I would want. Maybe the 2 of diamonds I wouldn't want as much.
It all depends what you got in your hand if you're playing poker, right? But now here's a question I have about it. It seems like when Violet and I sat down and reanalyzed this, we thought, wow. DJ has really warped Festivus by removing the feat of strength and replacing it with something else. But it's pretty much got a free reign. Like people follow a very broad Festivus.
Yes, that's
rulebook.
the thing about it.
Yeah.
There's no holy book. Even Seinfeld is not treated as it's a stupid sitcom. You can change it.
Right.
And that's kind of cool because Violet and I decided, that with these drinks, DJ says at his house, if it's not appealing, you can pass on it and give it to someone else. Well, we feel that that's not a feat of strength at all. If you choose a drink out of a book, you should have to drink it, being the feat of strength.
But you could also ask your plant, your house plant, to commit a feat of strength by pouring the drink into it. I think there's far too little. This was always something on sitcoms we used to watch that people would not want to drink and they pour it into the plant. I don't see enough pouring of bad drinks into plants anymore. I'd like to bring this back.
That's because booze is too expensive. At least it is in Canada. We can't afford to waste that shit, man.
They know that in a place like Canada, if you don't charge a lot for it, you'll all be running around drunk all the time.
That's true.
Probably so. The other factor in that would be getting married and the wives control how much you're allowed to have, so wasting is not an option.
Is your wife listening?
Yeah, I think they're upstairs listening. She's going to probably challenge me to a wrestling match when I get upstairs after the show.
I hope it's the good kind.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, make sure everyone leaves first and the kids go to bed. But the other thing that we thought of, Alan, was Violet and I kind of were in cahoots, I think, with this. We were thinking on the same lines. Violet would say everyone had to wear a toga.
Yes.
And I added to that, no panties.
Listen, I'm totally in favor of that.
And I think that the cold aluminum pole we could have pole dancing, which has been popular.
Well, no, I do point this out, and your listeners should know this is very serious, that whenever you erect a Festivus pole, and I use the word erect deliberately, whenever you erect a Festivus pole, you're in danger of attracting strippers. So it's one of the hazards of Festivus that you never know, strippers could show up.
Right.
I wouldn't call that a hazard, but I've been married a long time, so.
Yes, and I'm looking at this FestivusPoles.com website, and it's a very nice pole, and it's got its own stand, and it does look like a stripper pole.
Oh, Violet, you shouldn't flatter me about my pole.
They also sell a miniature pole there for those of you who can't, those listeners who can't, fit a 6-foot pole into their homes.
Yes, they do. It's a 2 foot 8
that
inch
one flew over
line.
Violet's head like a
Did you like
747.
You like my little timing on that?
Yeah, Violet didn't even catch that. She'll ping me when she listens to the replay, and she'll go, "Oh my God, I can't believe he said that."
Well, the thing is, the men are all saying it's a 6-foot pole when really it's a 4-foot pole.
It's all right. My pole comes with a very good telescope attached to it.
Oh, boy. So, any listeners out there, if you want a pole, just go to FestivusPoles.com, and they're not very expensive. The 6-foot floor model is $39.99 plus shipping.
No, it's a great deal. That's good. They're very nice guys, and they're very helpful to the Festivus community because you can kind of tell how popular Festivus is in any given year based on their sales statistics.
You'll have to report back on this year for us. But also, folks, if you want to learn more about this, I mean, obviously we cannot cram an entire book into the show tonight. We'd love to. But a very easy website, festivusbook.com.
Yeah, and let's also, that's a good site. And also on there, there's a link to my to alansalkin.tumblr.com, TUMBLR.com, which is the site for my book From Scratch Inside the Food Network.
Now, Alan, I like to ask this too because it kind of personalizes the interview. Is there a way that they could order the book, like a hard copy, obviously not an e-book, and get you to sign it?
Yes, I'm happy to do that. What you can do is find a book online. There are still plenty of. Don't buy it tomorrow, by the way. It'll be cheaper tomorrow than today. The prices always go up this time of year. But buy a used copy online. It's hard to find a new copy right now. And then find me on if you just search Alan Salkin, I have like 20 different ways of finding me on the internet. Send me a Facebook message, email me. I will send you my address. You can mail the book to me. I will pay the postage back, and I will sign it for you.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And Jerry Stiller wrote the foreword to my book. He's a very nice guy, and once in a while I run into him. And if I happen to run into him, maybe I'll get him to sign your book also.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
What's he doing these days? Does he celebrate Festivus?
I think he does in a similar way to me. Like he talks about how this time of year he'll walk around and people will always yell Seinfeld things at him. You're a very sick man. But they often yell Happy Festivus to Jerry. So he like me is sort of forced into celebrating it.
Now, one of the things that isn't mentioned in Festivus, is there like a traditional meal, or do we do this on an empty stomach and just get drunk?
Well, in my book, I do have a few recipes. One is for the Festivus salami, which is basically a Festivus pole stuffed with chocolate salami. There's a shrimp impaled on miniature Festivus poles, which you may also recognize as common house nails. But on the Seinfeld episode of Festivus, which was called The Strike, by the way, because it's about Kramer returning to work and at a bagel shop after being on strike for many years, and Elaine gives a fake phone number, and I actually have a whole thing about this in the book. But anyway, on the Seinfeld, what the hell am I talking about? Oh yeah,
I'm talking about
Seinfeld
food.
episode.
Yeah.
They Mrs. Costanza, who, and by the way, always point this out: the Costanzas are supposed to be Italian, not Jewish. It's one of the funniest things about Seinfeld. They thought the Hollywood company that made it thought we better make them Italians because that'll play better across the country. But
Right.
anyway, Mrs. Costanza walks out with something that looks like a very bad, overly flat lasagna. So some people have taken that to mean that the official Festivus food is a bad lasagna.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But one last thing.
That's what my wife makes, very bad lasagna. I should put that online.
Honey,
wrestling match, feet of strength coming up.
Because
bonus material.
Because junior mints are associated with Seinfeld because of that episode, some people do treat junior mints as another Festivus staple.
Junior mints?
Yeah, junior mints. It's a popular candy in America.
Yeah, no, I know it too. I must tell you, even though I'm in Canada, which most of you reflect as Eskimos, I live 2 minutes away from Detroit.
What is that? That's good?
Well, no, that's not good, but it just, I'm very Americanized.
You don't sound it, my friend.
Just because
I have a grievance to air. And I'm not going to do the typical grievance, which is about how Canadians, whenever you travel around the world, Canadians always have the damn Canadian flag sewed to their backpack or whatever. Like, we're not Americans! But, my grievance is against people like you, who are Canadian and refuse to embrace it and try to pretend you're Americans.
Oh, no, I embrace it. Don't get me wrong. It's just 99% of my audience is American, so I've had to learn. I'm a Maple Leaf fan. I like maple syrup. I eat back bacon, and I know what poutine is, and I also know what a good beer is.
Okay, I'm in Vermont, and I would hesitate. I'm sure, absolutely certain, 100% certain that the maple syrup here is better than your lousy maple syrup.
Well, we'll have to contend that. What about the beer?
They actually around here in Waitsfield, Vermont, they brew some of their own. What are you standing up for? Like Labatt's or something?
I like Labatt's Blue actually, but Molson Canadian is my favorite.
Well, back to the beer. I did say there's been a few. The first people that I know who brewed a Festivus beer were in Appleton, Wisconsin, and I do consider Wisconsin one of the more Canadian type states.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they're free for allers. They are,
and they speak wrong.
He's right. I actually know a DJ who is from Wisconsin, and I thought he was Canadian.
All right, listen, I have a grievance there.
Okay.
I love being Canadian, and everyone knows that who listens to me week in and week out. One thing I don't like is being ganged up on you two. I've been very nice tonight. DJ, I want page number 422. That'll get me rolling. I haven't drank enough tonight. No. I love my American brothers and sisters. The only thing I grievance against is why the hell you guys want health care. It's going to make you guys broke.
Don't start.
Going to break you. Oh, yeah, it's all great. Canadians, everything's free. Fuck you, it's free.
Well,
everything costs 10 times as much over here.
Yeah,
10 times as much. It's not free.
It's not even free in the way you're saying it's free. It's complicated and weird and whatever. The theory is that it's actually going to make everything cheaper because they get the sick people actually at least paying something for their care.
You know the thing that Canadians realize, and we're getting way off topic, but just for 1 second, is we will travel to the States to get medical care because when it's private, it's a business, and businesses care.
Mm-hmm.
When it's a socialistic global thing here in Canada, they don't give a fuck. You wait for hours, days, months.
But I think we can all agree on something, which is that while you're sitting in the waiting room, whether it be a long wait for a Canadian doctor or a short wait for a high-class, New York doctor, an excellent thing to read is either Festivus, The Holiday for the Rest of Us, or From Scratch, Inside the Food Network.
You're a good salesman. I can't wait for the Food Network show because
I need to get that book. I'm dying to get the book and read.
Well, I'm talking to the publicist. Give me a couple of days and we'll throw this all together. You threw this whole Festivus thing at me at the last minute. Violet says, you got to get this guy on the show. And I had, and thank you very much. Within a day, you agreed to come on. So let me get things in order here, Violet.
Well, I must have made a mistake in thinking that your listeners were actually people who spent money and might actually buy something that I'm touting here.
No, they will.
Okay.
My listeners spend money.
Prove it to me.
All right. Promotional code. If you don't fucking do this, he won't come back. No, they will. We got a lot of downloaders around the world. We're one of the top 10 comedy shows on iTunes, and we're up for a Stitcher Award. You're all voting out there, right? Double Talk Radio, entertainment, and pop culture.
We're
and
all
buying
voting.
books. All right, Ellen. Violet, what else you got? We got Brian
actually, I have
and
a
Metal
question,
Thunder
but
coming
I
up soon.
think I'll save it for when he comes back to talk about his Food Network.
I will tell you this. I had an interesting experience today because I skied at a place called Stowe, and as I drove back to where I'm staying, we passed the Ben & Jerry's factory up here in Vermont. And I'd never gone in there. So I went in, and they were not selling Festivus flavored ice cream because they did used to make a Festivus flavor, but it's in the flavor graveyard. And I actually, it's been retired. They made it for a couple of years. It's basically broken gingerbread men and a cinnamon ice cream, which sounds absolutely awful, which is probably why it's in the graveyard. But I passed a sign that said, "This way to the flavor graveyard." And I've been talking about this ice cream forever, but unfortunately there was so much snow I couldn't see the headstone in the graveyard. But anyway, I was somewhere near the graveyard where Festivus ice cream was buried.
Oh,
So
wow.
It's my interesting story for the day.
How cool is that?
I loved it.
Cool.
All right, so unfortunately, we do have a time limit. The nice thing about our show on Wednesday nights is we can run a little bit longer. But I want now to give you a chance, Ellen. First of all, I want to thank you. I've had a blast. I've always been blind to Festivus, and Violet resurfaced my enthusiasm about it. But tell us about both your books. Twitter, Facebook, any appearances you got going on. Go ahead. You got like 4 minutes we'll give you.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, thank you very much for having me. Twitter is at Alan Salkin, ALLEN, S like Sam, ALKIN. From scratch inside the Food Network. It's available on Amazon. It's at every Barnes & Noble. It's at all the stores. It's for sale in Canada as well. And it talks about a lot of the Food Network stars that are on the Canadian version of the Food Network, which is partly owned by the American version, so you'll love that. AlanSalkin.com is my website. I'm also Facebook.com/Salkin. Most of my posts are public. And I'm going to be all over. You can check AlanSalkin.com for my schedule, and hopefully I'll be coming to a town near you. Thank you for having me, and happy Festivus.
And maybe on CNN tomorrow morning.
No, that's going to be Dan O'Keefe, and I do suggest you turn in because he's kind of a dick, and he I shouldn't say that, but he's not as. I'll put it this way: he's not as easy to get. I hope one day to have airing grievances and a wrestling match with the original Dan O'Keefe, because he and I haven't gotten along so well since our original collaboration on the New York Times article. I think he thinks that I'm an interloper on his holiday, and he'd probably be right. But I have more of a sense of humor about it than he does. So you watch the CNN tomorrow, and you tell me if he's as funny as I am.
Maybe, just maybe, next year.
I hope so.
Gives me a year to work on this, Violet. We could have the ultimate Festivus feat of strength.
If you can get that to happen, I will come there and make an in-person appearance on this show.
Beautiful. We'll have to get video for that. All right, Alan, we got to run. If you knew us, we could talk all night. That's what we do. But watch the website, folks. Watch Facebook. Watch Twitter. Of course, Alan will be posting as well. We're going to bring him back sometime mid to later part of January to talk about Food Network, and that's going to be the bomb.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Alan. Enjoy your ski trip.
Yes.
Happy Festivus.
Happy Festivus.
Whatever.
Beautiful. What a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
What a great guy.
That'll be interesting.
Folks, I need to say something. It's not a grievance of any sort. But those of you listening to us tonight, I do a lot of the week-to-week thing, and Violet contributes. It's always a real team thing around Double Talk Radio, especially when Violet's involved. Her and I talk a lot in between shows, and Violet will say, let's do this, and I'll say, cool, let's do that, and it's the yin and the yang of what Violet and I do that we think makes it such a wonderful show. But tonight, I got to give 300% credit to Violet. She's produced everything. It was her idea to get the guest. All I did was send an email. She has collaborated this entire thing, and I've had a blast. I mean,
too.
Not that I don't have a blast every week, but you have done so many things with this show. You've stirred up the nostalgia of what made this show great in the first place. Mm-hmm. All these crazy off-the-cuff improv things that we do,
right?
That I think is the the mission statement of the show, mm-hmm. and then bringing in Alan, who's an mm-hmm. expert and a really fun guy, and just the work that you spent editing. Great job.
Well, thank you very much. I had fun doing it.
So all you people that think I'm a selfish son of a bitch, every once in a while.
I had fun doing it because, first of all, the Festivus episode, the bonus episode, is one of my favorites. So.
And you know what? It is mine too. And, but drawing me back to that again, and then bringing in Violet's Neighborhood, and we've done so many fun things, but to condense it like that was so much fun.
Yeah, if you actually go onto iTunes, you get the original entire discussion about Festivus. I cut it up and took out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
but
it's about 2 hours.
It is 2 hours.
Yeah. And what we'll do is on doublekradio.com, when I post this week's episode, and it will also show in the iTunes notes, is I'll post the links to both the Festivus special and Violet's Neighborhood. Like Dick says, it does sound like it was recorded around the time of War of the Worlds.
But yes, you'll get to hear me drunk.
But it's fun. And it's a couple of well, Violet was in this business a lot longer than I was, but I mean, I did stuff in college, play-by-play sports and stuff like that, but it was when we were new and experimenting, and we always experiment. I mean, that's part of the fun of the show, but it was, those old school ones are fun. I'm not trying to get you to go download all 150 episodes, but we've had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you listen to if anybody listens to the first 20 episodes, they'll sound horrible, but you have to remember those were our first 20 episodes ever, and so we were doing, we were thinking of all kinds of things. What could we do to make the show interesting? Things like that. We were experimenting,
and well, that's the thing, and I think we still do that today. Mm-hmm. Is we're like, let's try this, and you'll say, oh, I was a little long on this, and I'll do something, and I'll go, that's not my fit, and that's the fun of it. Right. Is you never know what we're going to come up with, and sometimes it'll flop, but we're the first ones to admit it. Mm-hmm. So, I have no grievances about this show.
No, I don't have any grievances about this show. The only grievance I have about the show is that, Chris and Maddie couldn't be here, but it's the holidays. It's Festivus for Chris because he and his family do celebrate Festivus, so that's tonight. And it's the Christmas holiday, so Maddie had to be with his family. He's probably doing last minute Christmas shopping. He's
probably doing the feat of strength in DJ's book.
And see, here's the beauty of Festivus. If you celebrate Festivus, there's no need for the last-minute Christmas shopping. There's no need to get out and decorate your house.
And
And there's no need to make a fancy dinner. I mean, terrible lasagna works.
Exactly. Step on it, walk on it, throw some cheese on some terrible noodles and that chocolate-filled salami. No one's going to want to eat it anyway. But here's the other thing I got from this, which I didn't know. Like, this whole Seinfeld being the Orthodox, that this holiday was actually before, it makes perfect sense. This could happen any time of the year. That you just want to get together with friends. You want to let go of some stress.
Right.
And what's the main thing at the holidays? Stress. We put it on ourselves.
This is like one of the most stress-free holidays. Hell, you can get a bunch of friends together, get a bunch of booze, drink. You can have the feats of strength either by having some sort of drinking contest or, as he said, the arm wrestling match.
Or, wear a toga, no panties.
Wear toga.
No panties.
Okay, that's okay. That's in your Festivus. My Festivus would have panties.
You are breaking the law every time you have sex in Virginia with the lights on. And anything other than the missionary position. That is a law in your state.
I know, that's crazy.
Not something I'm making up for Festivus. It's the law.
I've been telling people that around here, and they're like, "Really?"
Shit, no wonder everybody's heading out of Virginia like it was the gold rush in San Francisco right now. Oh Lord.
But yeah, I mean, and also as far as gifts, shoot, just go up to your attic and find something old and whatever you want to get rid of, and then give it to somebody you think won't appreciate it.
Shit, pull out a hangnail and put it in a baggie.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. I mean,
Lord.
because the one thing that really pisses me off about Christmas. Okay, this is one of my other grievances. The one thing that pisses me off about Christmas, and yes, I am Scrooge. People at work call me Mrs. Scrooge. It's just become so commercialized. I mean, I don't know about Canada, but here, the commercials for Christmas started before Halloween.
Yes. Well, yes. Now you're going to get me on a roll here because right now Christmas is going to end, and I'm going to see freaking chocolate hearts in the store. And right before the chocolate hearts are ready to sell out, everybody wants to be a fucking Irishman. And then after that, bunnies. Everywhere. Bunnies. For fuck's sakes.
So, that's my problem with Christmas. I mean, because,
not
really,
just Christmas. This is why Festivus is the perfect holiday.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend on trees and lights and baking cookies and the perfect turkey with the perfect brown skin and presents wrapped just so and
exactly. Whereas Festivus, who cares? Just pull out. If you have a chapstick in your pocket, pull it out and hand it to the person sitting next to you.
That's not the fun part. The fun part is replacing the feats of strength with drinks I like.
Yeah.
Or if you really want to be dirty.
You may not even like. And listen, as we were listening to one of the segments, you did pass that one drink to me, so you actually showed you were
not
not
fucking
very
ice
strong.
cream. You can't put anything with milk in a drink. It's going to curdle inside your stomach.
That's the drink you picked. You have to drink it.
You're right. Yes, I'm going against my own. Yes, you're right. You're right. But milk curdles. Like, the girls all want Kahlua and milk. And anyone who drinks fucking eggnog, it's going to curdle in your freaking stomach. You're making goat cheese.
Well, I love eggnog.
No, just give me the drink raw and fuck it. Like, none of these mixes. It's the pop that gives you the headache.
Well, I mean, you gotta pick. You can't just have a drink that you'll like. It has to be something.
You're right. And I'm going against my own opinion if I argue with you, because that is the feat of strength, is whatever drink you pick. So if it's like goat piss and whiskey, you got to drink it because that's your feat of strength. And if you back down, you're wimping out to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Anyway.
And in the one segment we played, you backed down.
I did. You're right. But I was naive to all this.
from the drink you called the cum shot.
That was actually called the Barnaby's Buffalo Blizzard.
Buffalo Blizzard.
Buffalo Blizzard. But it sounded like a cum shot to me. I don't remember the ingredients now, but it
had vanilla ice cream.
It all sounded great until he said a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Well, fuck. You know, that just ruined the whole thing. That was like a pearl necklace right there. I'm passing it to you.
Hey, I think it'd be pretty good, quite frankly.
Well, yeah, but, and then I might have something that, Tabasco sauce and tequila, and you might not like it, but you would have to drink it. Now, that would be cool, is if you, see, that's the feat of strength, is if you knew your friends that were around the table with you.
Yeah.
Everyone drew a name, not a drink, but you drew a name. So I know you're Violet, you like the girly drinks, you like something a little sweeter. I'm going to really mix up something bitter and strong and spicy. You know me, I don't like the sweet and all that stuff, so you're going to make something for me, and we're both going to be sitting there gagging across the table from each other. Maybe what we need is...
You know what? I also do like a good Bloody Mary, and I'm not talking just tomato juice and vodka. I'm talking I want spices in there, and there's a
so
restaurant.
You want a Caesar? A Caesar is Clamato.
It's a Cajun restaurant, and they make a Cajun Bloody Mary, and let me tell you, that thing is spicy.
Well, see, I don't think it's a Bloody Mary then, because there's a drink called a Caesar, which is Clamato juice and spices, and it is an elaborate bloody, but a true Bloody Mary is a fucking tomato juice and vodka.
Well, it's
ice.
actually a Bloody Mary mix made with tomato juice.
That's not the real one, though. You get the tomato juice.
Yes, it is. I finally went to bartending school.
Mixes are not the real way. We're so lazy.
But no, in bars they do make it. They don't buy it. They don't buy the mix. They make their own mix.
It's like a real pina colada. When you go to Jamaica and stuff like that, they ground the bananas and the fresh fruit, and they pour. Oh, it's beautiful rum they have down there, and they pour it in and put it on and grind it all up and put it on the rocks. That is a true, and a margarita in Mexico. I'm getting thirsty. My feat of strength is going to be lifting up a 12-pack of beer into my fridge, and anyway.
No, actually, in college, I was only 40 minutes from Mexico, being in Tucson, and we used to go to Mexico to drink because drinking age in Arizona is 21.
Yeah,
so we would
drinking age in Mexico is what, 13?
We would drive. Yeah, exactly.
That's a
we would
given.
we would drive the 45 minutes to Mexico, and for $20, you could have a great dinner and get drunk. Well, at this one bar called the Cave Bar we used to go to, they would do if you asked for a margarita, they'd have these girls walk around. They look like gunmen or whatever, because they had these things. They basically, what they do is they pull your head back by the hair, and they just pour the margarita.
Oh, the barber shot, the
into your mouth.
The barber shop chair shots.
So
where they just drip it down your throat.
Yep.
Yeah, those are good.
Mm-hmm. So
that's a feat of strength. All right, so we got 5 minutes, so yep. I want to. We'll still have a few minutes when I'm done this, but folks, Double Talk Radio. Every Wednesday night live, 9 p.m. right here on the X, except for this week, which is Christmas, and that's why we did this. Any other week you want to come by, listen to Violet Illusions. She's spinning some awesome music here, and when she starts speaking, you wish she'd never stop. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Coming up after us tonight, Metal Thunder Radio. Great show.
Yes.
Great guys, great music from all over the world. We had Brian on last week, and he has volunteered to come back anytime we need him. And
I miss Brian.
He'll be back. No worries about Brian. He'll be back. So Brian from Metal Thunder Radio, him and the boys coming up right after us. If you have this crank because you can't hear me and Violet too well, just an inside tip. Lower the volume a little bit. I've made that fucking mistake a few times and haven't heard for. Gone to work on Tuesday. Huh? I can't hear you. I've been fucking listening to Metal Thunder Radio again. You getting old, DK? No. Just been listening to Metal Thunder Radio again.
Yes, and as a music DJ myself, which is where I started from, where my roots are from, I have to say that Metal Thunder Radio is fucking rocks.
Oh, it's a great show, and he's a fantastic guy as his co-host and the guys he has that come sit in. Just another tip, I was just thinking of this. If your wife's getting to you, you go to go download Brian's stuff, because I mean he's on demand too. If you miss the show,
MetalThunderRadio.com.
MetalThunderRadio.com, and just download that to your vehicle of choice. You know, I've got the Galaxy, and you put it in, you throw on some headphones, and you know she's doing this, and your marriage lasts a lot longer. There's no confrontation. Because I don't know if you ever thought of it, but when you're headbanging, you're actually saying yes. It's a good thing.
Oh, God bless Isbia. That's all
and
I have to say.
After that, guys, another one of my favorites, because Effie is coming January 6th. I can't wait.
Oh, yay.
We'll be talking a lot about, butts and licking butts and fingering butts and all that good stuff. No, she's much deeper than that. She's a great gal. Joey Huggles and Evan, another one of my favorite shows, is on at 10 tonight. So 3 up right after Metal Thunder Radio.
Awesome.
Bang! Good lineup here on the X.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I guess that does it for us, Violet, for 2013.
Yes, it does. You're right. The next time we get together, it's going to be the new year. We'll have to do a New Year's show.
Well, and recap with DJ.
Oh wait, no. The next time we get together isn't it New Year's Eve?
I don't know. Let's pull the calendar up. Very unprepared crew.
Yes, I think it is New Year's Eve.
No, January 1st is the next Wednesday because we're missing.
So it'll be New Year's Day. Awesome.
And we'll hear from DJ, and hopefully Maddie will be around. We'll all have ice packs on top of our head. We promise not to play any of Brian's music and hurt you guys. Because, if we play any of that, then your headache will just go through the roof.
Exactly.
Not from the quality of music, from the noise, the boom, the bass. I went out and got a new pair of headphones just so I could, and it sounds so much better. Don't put in your little, phone earpiece. You need like a good pair of headphones, and it's awesome. All right, we're out of here, Violet. Again, thank you so much. Happy Festivus and Merry Christmas to you.
Yes. And Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year. But we'll say that again on the 1st. And God bless you all. Thank you very much, whether you're listening live or on demand. Again, we're nominated for Stitcher Awards. If you feel generous, go ahead and vote. If not, we're still going to do the same thing. Doesn't really matter. What are they going to do? Send us an email? Congratulations. Anyway, Metal Thunder's next, folks. Get ready. Buckle up. Put your seatbelt on.
Good night, everybody.
Night, Violet.
Good night.
Well, gather around and settle down. It's the best time of the year.